Busch Gardens Williamsburg is a theme park located in Williamsburg, Virginia, just 60 miles northwest of Virginia Beach. The park was developed by Anheuser-Busch and is owned by United Parks and Resorts, formerly known as SeaWorld Entertainment. Busch Gardens Williamsburg is home to 11 current operating roller coasters and is celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. So I thought that it would be the perfect time to rank all of their current coasters since this is also my home park. I visit Busch Gardens for about a week every single year, and I can say confidently that this park has one of the best rounded out lineups in North America, as there isn't one bad ride. They are all solid coasters. With that all being said, let's rank them all up. Coming in last place, I have Grover's Alpine Express. Grover's Alpine Express opened on April 3rd of 2009 with the rest of the Sesame Street Forest of Funland and was manufactured by Zier. This is the only true junior coaster in the park and was actually my first ever coaster credit, so it holds a special place in my heart. There's not much more I can say about it though. It has a cool low to the ground helix, but it's meant to be for kids and families, so I can't put this any higher. At number 10, I have Dark Coaster. Dark Coaster opened in 2023 as North America's first all-indoor straddle coaster. It replaced the Curse of Dark Castle attraction that operated for 12 years, with the current coaster continuing the storyline and even reusing its building. The building sat quiet for about 4 years until Busch Gardens finally decided that they needed a replacement, or just something, especially with the recent plans of Drakensberg getting cancelled. In May of 2021, the park filed plans to build a brand new roller coaster, and in late December of 2021, the fan site BGW Fans published an expose on the project being dubbed as Dark Coaster. One of the really good things about Dark Coaster is that it is cold in the building, which fits the theme perfectly. On hot summer days, this is a perfect attraction to cool down on, but for all the other seasons, not so much. Dark Coaster's layout consists of two drive tire launch systems reaching speeds of up to 36 miles per hour and features many twists and turns. Dark Coaster uses a switch track element in order for the train to go through the layout in 2 cycles rather than 1 because it's a relatively short experience. With both cycles, the ride features 2,454 feet of track. Unfortunately for this season, Dark Coaster stood but didn't operate. It's been closed since opening day, and apparently so are all the other Intamin shuttle coasters in the world. Some say it's maintenance, some say it's refurbishment. Who knows? At number 9, I have the Big Bad Wolf, The Wolf's Revenge. Now, I know some of you guys have heard my fair share on this ride, and also this and Dark Coaster can go either way. It's the night ride that does it for me though. The Big Bad Wolf, The Wolf's Revenge is Busch Gardens Williamsburg's 50th anniversary coaster. This is a B&M family inverted coaster that is only the second of its kind to open in the United States after Phoenix Rising, located at its sister park, Busch Gardens Tampa. It's located in the original Drakenfire plot that closed almost 3 decades ago. Before The Wolf's Revenge, Busch Gardens had tried to put something in this space for years now, as it holds much potential. This is also most kids' first big roller coaster after Grover's Alpine Express, and it continues the story of the aero-suspended coaster that operated from 1984 to 2009. Sadly, there is a maximum height requirement of 76 inches, which is 6'4", which isn't even that tall in this day and age. And frankly, it's due to the fact that there are some close moments. At times, it does feel like your legs can maybe hit something, and it does offer a very low to the ground experience. It stands at 67 feet tall and will take you through about 2,600 feet of track and reaches a top speed of up to 40 miles per hour. Just like the original, you would go through a Bavarian village, and yes, it does offer a second left toe just like the first. This time though, instead of the village being destroyed, you lure the wolf into a trap, jumping over and getting him caught. You can tell this happens because of the finale. You can see the glasses of beer on the tables and beer barrels with the Oktoberfest ribbons. The original Big Bad Wolf had a large fan base and was arguably the best ride in the park at the time. But with aerodynamics going bankrupt in 2002, maintaining this attraction was nearly impossible. I like the new coaster, but I feel a tad bit disappointed they went with a nostalgic family ride rather than a record-breaking thrill ride due to the 2 big league projects. If you want to hear more about that, check out my review on my page. Anyways, I like this ride a lot, especially since it's smooth. And from B&M, this is because a lot of people in the community are suggesting that B&M has been getting rougher or not as reliable. But that's not the case with this ride, and I'm glad to see it. Although it's not very revengey, it's a multi-generational ride that holds special moments from longtime fans. At number 8, I have the Lochess Monster. The Lochess Monster is the oldest operating roller coaster at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. It opened in 1978 as the first ever roller coaster to feature interlocking loops, and was the biggest addition to the park at that time, and is the only current operating roller coaster in the world today to still feature interlocking loops. The ride is located in the center of the park in the Scotland area. Lochess Monster stands trains at 130 feet, and you will reach a top speed of 60 miles per hour while going through 3,240 feet of track. The ride has over-the-shoulder restraints with no buckle, and they feel quite odd and loose. That loose part, though, is not a problem for everybody. Following months of rumors, in September 2023, Busch Gardens Williamsburg announced that the Lochess Monster would go through a renovation to eventually open back up in the 2024 season. The ride reopened on May 10, 2024 with new audio tracks to the two lift hills, lighting effects in the tunnels, and an actual Lochess Monster at the end of the ride, and some facts list and history when you walk under the roller coaster. As someone who's been to Busch Gardens every single year, I think that the Lochess Monster got rougher after the renovation. It's a lot better in the back, so I highly recommend it, but when you're up in the front, it's just an unpleasant ride experience that will more than likely leave you in a headache, especially in the tunnel. I mean, you could be anywhere on the train and your head will be tossed from side to side. It upgraded a lot in theming, but the ride experience took a bit of a toll. It has its up and downs. The first drop is very good, and I love that it's over the water, and it is a lot better than you'd expect. Also, the two interlocking loops are iconic. You will definitely feel the jank, but it's not all that bad. I think anybody outside of an enthusiast can tell whether or not that this is the oldest ride in the park. And hey, it doesn't look like Busch Gardens have any plans to take this ride down anytime soon. At number 7 comes Invader. Invader is the park's family wooden coaster built by Great Coasters International, or GCI for short, back in 2017. The park let fans vote among 3 names: Viking Raider, Invader, and Battle Clash. Obviously, as we know today, that Invader would be the chosen name. Invader uses trains from Gwazi, a defunct wooden roller coaster at Busch Gardens, Tampa. After leaving the station, Invader will go into 2 sharp turns to the right before climbing up the chain lift. After reaching the top, which is 60 feet tall, you will dip down and make a left-hand turn and up and through a tunnel that will drop you 74 feet. Invader reaches a top speed of 48 miles per hour, but it sure feels like you move a lot faster. After the drop, you'll get tossed to the right and into 2 sets of airtime hills. These aren't very strong ejector moments, but you definitely get tossed out of your seat a bit. Afterwards, you'll make a 180-degree turn to the right and get tossed to the left right after, and into a very small airtime hill before turning left again. You will then dip down and go into an airtime hill over the drop, and into another small airtime hill before going into the final helix. Even though Invader is a family coaster, it packs a punch. It's a lot better than you'd anticipate. It has a bit of a jank, especially in the second half of the layout, but it's not too terrible. Invader got 4th place in the Golden Ticket Awards Best New Ride in 2017, and was in the top 50 wooden coasters every year from 2019 to 2023, except 2020 because of the pandemic. But in 2024 was kicked out. The ride is located in the New France section, which is in the back right of the park, which means you can easily miss the ride, and I feel like a lot of people that don't visit often do, because Invader's lines are always pretty short. I mean, you could go on once and then go another 4 to 5 times in a row because they'll let you stay in your seat if nobody's waiting in line. Unless you go on a train to the Caribou Station, then it's pretty visible. Luckily, Busch Gardens Williamsburg provides a lot of maps around the park. Anyways, all in all, I think Invader is good, especially for being a family coaster, but it does also feel like it's been running for 10 to 15 years, so that's why I have it in the middle. Next up, coming in 6th place, I have Tempesta. Tempesta was a Skyrocket 2 model that was built by Premier Rides and opened in 2015. A couple years prior, Busch Gardens Williamsburg had filed permits to expand the Festa Italia section, with a brand new attraction over 156 feet. And then, just a year afterwards, the blueprints were released, and it was going to be located next to their 210-foot hypercoaster, Apollo's Chariot. Tempesta launches you out of the station into a partial twist, and then the train falls back and accelerates backwards through the station into another twist. One more try now, the train goes back through the station and accelerates to a top speed of 62 miles per hour, and up 150 feet where it completes a non-inverting half loop, and into a very slow heartline roll, which you will receive graceful hang time. The ride will go into a twisted drop and into another non-inverting half loop before going back down and into the station, up the partial twist again and coming back down to a complete stop. Tempesta will open as the third of its kind back in 2015 and is also Ellison powered. I think the cold restraints are uncomfortable, but they were necessary for the hang time. But this ride is well too short to be put any higher. It's good for what it is, but that's really it. At number 5, I have Verbolton. Verbolton is a partially enclosed family multi-launch coaster that was manufactured by Zier. Verbolton was constructed on the former site known as the Big Bad Wolf, including the same iconic drop over the Rhine River. The ride is inspired by the Autobahn, which is a German highway system, but in this case, you take a tourist attraction into the Black Forest, a forbidden forest where the ride takes place, and the people that go in never come out alive. The ride starts off by women saying, Now don't look back as you brave the Black Forest. You go into some straight track before dipping to the left and into an S-turn. Afterwards, the train enters the first LSM launch, accelerated into the cold Black Forest and cresting an airtime hill. This is followed by a dive into a series of multiple twists and turns and a helix before the mid-course brake run. The coaster will then dive into a curve and up a hill onto another brake run as it slowly comes to a stop. If you're in the front row, you will see this tree spirit lady luring you further into the Black Forest, speaking to you, but you can't really make out the words. And after some more special effects, you hear the magnets release, and then you get dropped 18 feet down on what's known as a vertical drop track. After what takes a while for the train to reset, you dip down and back outside and into the second LSM launch, reaching a top speed of 53 miles per hour, and through an ascending reverse S-turn. This leads to another brake run on a decaying bridge, and you can hear the sounds of the bridge creaking from the wind. And just like the Big Bad Wolf's finale, you drop 88 feet off the bridge and into a left-hand turn along the Rhine River. After this, a high-speed S-curve happens as you go into a final bunny hop and a turnaround into the final brake run. In my opinion, this is the best themed coaster in the park and is truly underrated. Most people that ride this don't even think of it as a family coaster, and I see why. The front row is the best spot to be on this ride. You get good moments in the back, but in the front you really feel the launches and feel more in general. I would definitely put this higher, but the next four are all just simply better. Now these next three are always mixed in people's rankings and can seriously be put in any order and it wouldn't be horrible. Heck, you can even throw Verbolton up here. But coming in at number 4, I have Apollo's Chariot. Now before I stir up any massive controversy, hear me out. Apollo's Chariot was the first ever hypercoaster designed by B&N, meaning it's a roller coaster over 200 feet, opening back in 1999. This roller coaster is themed to a Greek and Roman god Apollo, who is the god of the sun, healing, and music. Apollo used his chariot to control the directions of the sun. It opened as the tallest and fastest roller coaster inside the park and would also be about 4,900 feet long, featuring an out and back terrain layout. The park's natural terrain makes it so even though it technically stands at 170 feet, the first drop extends to being 210 feet. When you get to the top of the lift hill, you can see the James River before it drops down a few feet into what's known as a pre-drop. The pre-drop serves to reduce the stress and pull of the chain. Afterwards, you make your descent down 210 feet towards a water-filled ravine at a 65-degree angle and reaches a top speed of 73 miles per hour. Afterwards, you go into the first camelback, receiving floater airtime, and into another one before swooping left down and into an intense helix, which is why the far left seat is the best for this coaster. Afterwards, you go down and up into a near-miss moment if you're on the far right seat, and into the mid-course brake run. After this, you would go into 2 more camelback hills, receiving sustained floater, and into some straight track over the ravine, before going up and twisting sharply right, and then back towards the left, doing a little bunny hop over the park's River Rapids attraction, Roman Rapids. You then will sort of crest up and into the final camelback, and then the final brake run. Again, these next 3 can go either way. It's really about what you enjoy in coasters, but this ride has definitely seen better days. And I don't know, maybe it's because I've ridden more roller coasters, but I used to find Apollo's Chariot glass smooth, but not anymore. It's still a great coaster, but the elements don't feel as forceful as they did just a few years ago. The first drop is really good, and I enjoy the floater sustained airtime and the helix, but it's not better than the next 3. It has great moments though, don't get me wrong. This ride has gone top 10 20 out of 25 times in the Golden Ticket Awards. This recent year received its lowest ranking at 25, but was still the highest out of any coaster in the park. Apollo's Chariot walked, so that stuff like Mako, Shambhala, and Diamondback could run. Moving into our top 3 now, we have Alpengeist. Alpengeist is a B&M inverted coaster that opened as the tallest inverted coaster in the world in 1997. Alpengeist has an Alpine region theme and means Alpine Ghost in English. It still holds the record for the tallest full-circuit inverted coaster in the world, tallest in the United States period, and the longest complete circuit drop in the world amongst inverted coasters. Upon exiting the station, the floor drops beneath you as you make your ascent up 195 feet. At the top of the lift, you will slightly slow down and go into a pre-drop, and then you will do a spiral drop towards the right. The ride reaches a top speed of 67 miles per hour, but with pulling 4.5 Gs, it feels like you go a lot faster. After the drop, you will go up and into an Immelman loop, and then into the tallest vertical loop put on an inverted coaster. The track then races through a tunnel before going into possibly the best element put on a roller coaster. Not the Cobra Roll, but specifically for this ride. The force it pulls just feels absolutely incredible, and it is probably my favorite experience on any roller coaster that I've ridden, and that's a bold statement. Out of the Cobra Roll, the track crosses over and then rises into the mid-course brake run, which may give you a headache for how hard the train stops, so brace yourself. After the mid-course brakes, the track crosses over the exit from the Immelman loop and then into another tunnel and down a drop before entering a zero-G roll alongside the Lascoot log flume. After a short section of straight track close to the ground level, the track inverts into a corkscrew followed up by a clockwise upward helix before making a left turn into the final brake run. I didn't have this coaster so high just a couple years ago, but I've definitely changed my mind. I think after ejector airtime, forces and intensity would be my second X factor. I recommend the back row and typically an outside seat because you will feel it more, getting pulled into the elements, and also because you will feel the G's more. Coming in at number 2, I have Griffin. Griffin is a B&M dive coaster that opened in 2007 and is widely considered as one of, if not the best dive coasters in the United States and maybe even the world. Griffin was well received by the media and enthusiasts and placed 3rd for the best new coaster of 2007 since its debut. It has also consistently ranked in the top 50 amongst steel coasters in the same annual publication, the Golden Ticket Awards. Griffin replaced the Le Mans Raceway attraction that closed the year prior. When Griffin opened, it held records for being the tallest and fastest dive coaster in the world, both of which were previously held by SeaWorld at its sister park, Busch Gardens Tampa. Griffin was also the first dive coaster to feature floorless trains. After the floor drops and the front door opens, the train is dispatched and takes a downward right turn immediately and does an upward turn into the 47-degree incline chain lift. Once the train reaches the top of the 205-foot lift, the train will make a 180-degree turn. While you do this, you can see the James River. You will go into drive tired holding brakes and slowly move over the first drop. Once you finish making the 180-degree turn, you will face toward the Anheuser-Busch brewery. You get held for 5 seconds and then you are released into a 90-degree drop. When the train reaches the bottom of the drop, it reaches a top speed of 71 miles per hour. Then the train enters an Immelman loop before dropping back towards the ground and making a banked upward left turn into the mid-course brake run. After the train slows down, it drops and into another Immelman loop. After this, you would go into an ejector airtime hill, which is better than any airtime featured on a polished Chariot. Yeah, hot, isn't it? The train then goes into a splashdown where the car's rears spray 2 50-foot plumes of water into the air. Although you don't get wet, it's kinda cool. Finally, the train makes a banked turn to the left leading into the final brake run. The ride will last for 3 minutes altogether. The front row is the clear option for this type of model and still runs incredibly smooth for almost being 20 years old. I know a lot of people think the dive coaster is repetitive, but I love Griffin. And it may just be the best dive coaster in the world. And at number 1, the clear favorite, Pantheon. Busch Gardens Williamsburg was missing that one elite roller coaster. Sure, they had a great lineup before then, but they were missing that one stand-up coaster that could really set them straight, and that was Pantheon. Pantheon is an intimate blitz coaster that opened in 2022 and received delays because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Its theme is set to ancient Rome with a focus on culture's deities, Jupiter, Mercury, Minerva, Neptune, and Pluto. Although the ride isn't themed well and gets hated for it, it doesn't take away from the ride experience. And after 3 years, I don't know, but there's rumors that the coaster will add some sort of theming. And after visiting this season, it looks like it's a possibility as there were 2 conveyor trucks on the coaster site. Pantheon replaced an earlier project known as Project Madrid, where Busch Gardens filed a 315-foot height waiver for the canceled attraction that would have gone over the Rhine River. Pantheon opened as the fastest multi-launch coaster in the United States. Pantheon starts out by dipping you down and into a left-hand turn, to the right and back to the left, where you will reach its first LSM launch. After this, you will go into a zero-G roll before going into a low-to-the-ground turn towards the right and into an outward banked airtime hill, and another one in the opposite direction. After this, you would turn right and go into the second launch. One great thing about Pantheon is how it uses an airtime hill on its swing launch. It's truly unbelievable. The ride will kind of fake you out with a weak first launch before going into a second launch that doesn't quite make it as you're about to do it backwards. This is personally my favorite part. You launch backwards into 2 ejector airtime hills, getting completely thrown out of your seat, and you get thrown up the 178-foot spike, hanging there for a quick second before doing the same thing you just did backwards, forwards, reaching a top speed of 73 miles per hour. As you go up the top hat, you will receive some airtime, especially in the back, before dropping at a 95-degree angle and doing a very low to the ground turn to the right and up into an outward bank facing the Rhine River. After this, you'll go quickly back to the right and into another low to the ground turn, back to the right and up into a zero-G stall where there are a couple near miss moments with the supports. And as you twist back, there's another near miss moment that is so close that people over 76 inches or 6'4" can't ride. You do this while turning left, right, left, and into the outward bank turn to end up at the final brake run. In the entire layout, it's good, but from that second launch to the final brake run, the coaster is truly unreal as you feel every single element from there on out. Despite the poor theming, it's world class. Busch Gardens Williamsburg keeps constantly adding to the lineup more and more each year or so. This mainly goes to them for their 50th anniversary and for being the most beautiful theme park for 35 consecutive years, but also because this is my home park and was much needed. I'm excited to see what's in store for the future. And if you had a problem with my rankings, say something in the comments below, and if you like them, also do the same thing. Leave a like on this video, and as always, have a great day, enthusiast.